Hello and welcome. Today we'll be looking at validation layers. Given that Vulkan is geared at maximizing performance, it doesn't have any debugging messages by default. Debugging messages can be optionally added by what's called validation layers. These hook into functions and do error logging. Let's set up validation layers for our program. First of all, we'll need to request validation layers. Validation layers are not included in Vulkan's core functionality by default. However, LunaG's Vulkan SDK includes a set of validation layers, which are, the extension goes by this name, Kronos Validation. So we'll set this up to pass in and check, as well as we will link validation layers to our C++ compiler. If it's in debug mode, then they'll be enabled, otherwise not. The next thing we'll have to do is check whether Vulkan will support validation layers, which we check with this function down here. As we look through this, we want to check all the layer properties, which are enabled, are supported, and note that we're actually calling the same function twice. The first time we call it, we use it in order to set to get the number of enabled or supported layers, and then the second time we call it, we use it to populate a list of available layers. Over here we're using standard vector, which is C++'s implementation of a C-style array, which can dynamically grow and shrink. In order to pass that into a function, we need to call the data function on it, which returns a pointer to the first element in the array. Okay, so with that being set up, we then need to loop through and check whether our particular layer was found or not. So what we're doing here, this is called a for each loop. It's very similar to Python's, for x in y sort of thing, loop setup. And down here we have this keyword auto. Now what auto does is it tells the compiler to infer the data type from the individual variables and the context that they're used in. Also here we have string comparison. This is from C. It just returns 0 if two strings are exactly equal to each other. Okay, cool. So now we have a way to check whether validation layers are supported. Okay, so where that gets called is it gets called down here in create instance. The first thing we do is we check whether we want validation layer support and also whether it's there. And then additionally, based on that, we are setting, we are adding it into, we're adding it into the create info for the app. Okay, great. So at this point, if we run it like this, then we will have validation layers working, and by default it will print things out to standard out, and it has its own kind of default messaging, but we might want a little bit more control over where messages are sent and the type of messages that are sent and everything. So we are going to define a callback function at the top here. There's a few weird things going on here. This attr and call are Vulkan macros, which just ensure that the signature of the function is set correctly. The really important bits, okay, so what are we doing here? We're taking standard error and we're printing to that this message, validation error, validation layer plus the specific message, and that's it. We're returning false. Now this return value indicates whether the function which called the and triggered the validation layer should exit, whether the program should exit after that function. And because a lot of these messages are just standard sort of messages, we don't want to crash on those. Two really important parts are the message severity and message type. So we'll have a look at that in a second, but we do get a bit of control over which types of messages we want to log. Okay, in order to use this function to register it with our program, we need to create another type of object called a debug messenger. So we declare that as a member variable, and then we have this function here, so create instance and then set up the debug messenger. Okay, so let's step through this. Obviously, if we don't want validation layers, there's no point creating this messenger, so we just exit. But this is the really important bit. Message severity and message type. So these are the typical flags which are set, and this is a bit mask. So for example, if I give this the number 1, 2, and 4, then just adding those numbers together can uniquely determine a number between 0 and 7. Anyway, so verbose is just regular messages which are not errors or warnings. Then we have warnings and errors down here. And then for the types of messages, we can have general messages, validation. Now what validation means is if a function fails, basically. So if requirements are not set correctly, if signatures don't match or anything like that, that's validation. And we can also get performance messages as well. So Vulkan can warn us when we're doing something in a non-optimal way, which for some reason it never warns me, but it's there. Okay, so next what we want to do is we've created a structure with all of the information to, also we have our pointer function, our debug callback function, which we registered earlier. What we want to do is create that messenger. And this is what the function looks like, but there's a bit of a trick here. And the trick is that because validation layers are not enabled by default, this function, if I just type this in, it won't recognize it. So what I've actually had to do is query that function. Up above, I've created a dummy function which has the same name and the same signature. However, okay, so we're using auto again, and we call this thing here Vulkan get instance process address. So this kind of searches a little deeper into the Vulkan library for functions which are there, but they're not in Vulkan's core functionality. It's based on our instance, which we created before, and we pass in the name of the function that we're searching for, and it returns back that pointer. So then we can just straight up call the function that we queried with the information that was passed in at the function call, and that's it. That's just that extra step that we need to take in order to use this function. And it's the same thing for cleanup. We need to get rid of it as well. As a matter of fact, right now we can see validation layers in effect, because if I run this without cleaning it up, then it works, and then when I exit, I get an error saying that everything should be cleaned up. Cool. So we created it, we need to destroy it. And again, this null pointer is the custom deallocator function for deallocating memory. It runs, we exit, that's it, no error message. Cool. So that is it for today. We have some debug messages coming through. As always, Code is linked in the description of the video, so you can jump in and get familiar with it. All the best. Until next time. Bye.